Well, of course, we know Bristol is famous for its music recordings, some of the earliest on record. But this weekend, Bristol will be known for another type of recording, a comedy album. We're excited to have comedian John Baglio joining us this morning with more on his upcoming recordings and his shows in Bristol. Good to have you.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me, Amy.
So I was reading your bio. I know you made the trip from Boston.
Yeah.
And welcome. You said you got here last night.
Got here last night. It's cool to see Johnson City. I've only heard of it from the song Wagon Wheel, so it's nice to see it.
We all love when that song plays, no matter where we are.
Yeah.
You got to get that Johnson
Got to hoot and
City
holler
in
when
there.
that reference comes out. There we go.
Yes. So you've been doing comedy since you were like a teenager.
I started when I was 18, 19 years old, yeah. Something I always wanted to do. Me and my friends, when I was a teen, when I was like 13, 14, we would make sketches and we would film and write stuff and improvise. And I always wanted to do comedy. I always gravitated towards it. And then I took an improv class and I was like, well, I might as well try stand-up. And 12 years later, here I am with you today. It all led to this.
Yeah, this is the moment. But no, super excited because you're actually getting ready to record your first debut album.
First of many, I hope, and I'm excited to be doing it in the Tri-Cities area at Blue Ridge Comedy Club.
And right in downtown Bristol, and we've had them on the show before, relatively new. Love that we have a comedy club in downtown Bristol.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a great spot. When I was here for their grand opening in July, and it was such a wonderful space, such wonderful crowds. Everyone was super nice and friendly and responsive to all the material I was doing. So I was like, well, I got to come record my album here. This will be great.
So what does it mean when you say you're recording a comedy album? We were talking about just how the scene has changed, of course, with satellite radio and things like that. Opened everything up.
Absolutely. So it makes my comedy more accessible to other people and all throughout the country and world even. So people will be able to buy the album on like iTunes, stream it on Spotify, stream it on Pandora, listen to it on Sirius XM. And it'll be a great way to put my comedy out there. And ultimately, this will be a fun little thing where it's like, this has been 12 years of my life. Here's a little concrete proof of how hard I've worked for that entire time.
So what's it like for you, like writing comedy? How does that work? How much of the show is taken from the audience reaction and sort of moved around?
Yeah. So I keep the comedy mostly about me and my life. Like I'm not too observational on like modern or I get political or anything like that. I just kind of keep it about me, my upbringing, my crazy family, my dating life, how much I love sports, and wide variety of different things, just all the funny things that have ever happened to me. I just always just writing everything down all the time, trying to figure out how to make people laugh, and just been throwing spaghetti at a wall for 12 years, and here we are.
And I went on YouTube and watched some of your material. Super funny, and you can tell. I mean, so that is really kind of your life when you're pulling these different experiences?
Yeah, and I just try and, I try and keep the focus on myself, just try and be playful, silly, relatable. I think I do a lot of material that everyone can kind of relate to and understand and be like, oh, that's happened to me before. Oh, my mom's like that, stuff like that. So. Yeah.
And John, this area also, of course, known Bristol, birthplace of country music, Jonesboro, known for storytelling, capital of the world. And so much of what you do is also weaving those stories together with that humor. How important is that storytelling element?
It really helps create a narrative and helps, build towards those big giant punchlines at the end of every joke that I'm doing. So I like taking people on a journey with me, creating these sort of narratives and getting them to relate and really, I think everyone can relate to having a day job that they don't like or having similar experience to me. So I like kind of doing that storytelling element and really kind of keeping it about myself but keeping it relatable at the same time.
Well, what a great opportunity for our viewers to go out and check out the show. You're going to have multiple shows this weekend.
Yep. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday at Blue Ridge Comedy Club, 7:30 and 9:30 each night.
Going to be a lot of fun. And for folks that don't know Blue Ridge, you said you were there for their grand opening.
I was there for their grand opening.
I love the story behind it because they were kind of from that area.
Yeah, they were from, Sean and his wife Sarah were from Boston, and well, she's from Bristol, and they were going to do this whole road trip on it. Like they got like a van and they were going to do comedy throughout the country for a lot of months, and then the pandemic happened. They rechanged their plans. They settled down here in Bristol, and they were like, well, let's open a comedy club. Let's bring some comedy to this nice area that we love so much. So I'm excited to bring my comedy to this area, too.
And we're excited to have you.
Yeah,
so
happy to be
welcome
here.
to the area. Hope you get
Thank
a chance
you.
to get out and see everything.
Absolutely,
Lots
absolutely.
to see and do.
Yeah.
And you can get your tickets now, or you can get them at the door. He is going to be here, as he mentioned, 4 shows, 2 shows tonight and 2 shows tomorrow night, 7:30 and 9:30. For tickets and more information, you can check out the website. It is BlueRidgeComedy.com. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.